All right, welcome back. Welcome back to this league race here. Being Swiss round 5, got Herdez and Brink. I have my co-commentator here.
Howdy, I'm Crazy Comics. Good to
Also,
see you.
I didn't introduce myself at all. Can you tell I haven't done this in a while?
Yeah. What is your name, stranger?
I am Double A Dewey. Some people call me Double, some people call me Dewey. No one has called me the letter A yet. But here we are. Look at see, we're sending them off here just in a second. So let's take a second look at these objectives. Got Axel 1, got Betwixt, got Cabinet Members Fights, Stormrider, OC Pete, Mini Escorts, Windows, Boat Pete, TR Pete, PR Minute Fights, Barrels, Experiments, Solar Sailor, Spooky Cave, and Data Roxas. So already seeing a lot of synergy with especially like TR. Got 4 objectives there. That's really strong. You're going to be see some type of dip there.
Yeah, these are some very kind objectives.
Only one
nothing
data.
Nothing too difficult and everything. And like you said, our players are probably going to want to push that Disney Castle into TR for 4 objectives.
Which we do gnarly. We do start with an unlock there. So we already can do the mini escort. I'm sure they will just do that in their shotgun because the time loss of just leaving isn't really anything.
Right. Yeah, we could also do we have access to the OC Pete as well with that Battlefields of War that we're starting with as well.
Yeah, so. I'll say we don't have access to that. I'm not sure how quickly we'll see a dip into OC outside of the shotgun, just because Hades Escape is a little daunting without some good crowd control. So like at least like a fire, but ideally like a reflect or a magnet.
I mean, aBrinkk is already showing us OC as well. So meanwhile, LittleHerdez is taking a look into the first 4 of The World That Never Was after going and checking 100 Acre, not really finding anything in the first 3, but we do find torn pages on aBrinkk.
Yeah, Brink gonna get the time save from not touching 100 Acre before getting a page. Already seeing a magnet on whatever it was. Also nice that we don't have a way to the dawn, so Herdez can just exit the other side of the room, which is faster here. Yeah, quick run. Oh, Brink dying at the end of the room.
Yeah, from one of the pups.
Yeah, that is a little tight if you don't start the chest animation as soon as you can. Either the land soldier could clip you or the dog, the rabbit dog.
Right. Yeah, but already having 2 magnets at the beginning of the scene is pretty good for crowd control here in the early game.
Yeah, I didn't even notice they started with a magnet. Yeah, they are kind of chilling.
Magnet and Chicken Little as well. So a lot of good crowd control.
They also, if they find a Proud Fang, will be very comfy there. It's a little rough sometimes when you find a Proud Fang early, but not first, since you lose the RNG manipulation, and you need something to catch the living bones, but having access to magnets, that won't be an issue. It is being very low here. Ooh, we're fine.
That real quick aerial dodge out of that attack. Yeah, but this is the first of our 6 2v2 2 and 2 matches.
Auto
limit.
Oh, we're going for some levels here too. Just doing the 1 limit to get the 1 XP. I respect it. Getting that info early could be really valuable. Yeah. Also just going for the kills because you're already here. Why not?
Right. Yeah, we got 6 of these matches to close out the Swiss round. And
Brink continually just talking to the side instead of Piglet. Didn't look like there was anything of note in that page. Piglet says.
Yeah. But we are getting a progression point from doing this mini game, getting us a step closer to our first hint. Help us out. First 3 of LOD over on LittleHerdez's side, not really holding anything for us, and now heading into Twilight Town.
Yeah, interesting. I'm always a little surprised to see a really quick Twilight Town shotgun. I'm curious if we're going to see the entire Tram Comet or we're just going to get this right here. Getting a form.
Ooh,
Very nice.
love that. Yeah, we can level that form on the station fight.
Yeah.
We're also pretty early on, so we can take a nice quick death. Get out of that really quickly.
Yeah, luckily not too good of a defense stat. So.
100%. You kind of want to leave that for early, but also with these settings, you're not really guaranteed to get a ton of stats really quickly. Just with how these settings are set up and everything. But a lot of magic. Wow.
Yeah, finding a lot of tools early, so here's that proud fang we were talking about.
There we go.
So I'm sure we will see her as immediately going there. Definitely getting, I would say, definitely worth the potential time. Because I think the only reason people wouldn't dip into here as one of their first shotguns is just being a little low on movement, being such a huge room, and also a very vertical room that can be a little tough to traverse. Did Herdez get the chest there? Maybe they could see it from afar. Saw that it was
maybe.
Dunk.
Yeah.
We'll see when Brink goes there.
Absolutely. But yeah, and
despite
it being one of your first worlds and like not having the movement and everything like that for TT1 push, it is one of your starting worlds. Like so it's got to hold something, right? So, and plus it's on the way to one of our objectives. Yeah,
a little further into it, but still on the way to the objective, so you're not really risking very much doing that dip. And also, number one rule of playing Rando is do your shotguns. Our sponsor today is the shotguns.
Brought to you by the Letter Shotguns.
The Letter Shotgun, yeah, exactly.
Yep. That'd be it.
I must have missed that letter.
Yeah. Anyway, we got some crossover between our runners. aBrinkk doing the first 4, LittleHerdez doing the first mini game. But yeah. And also we did see aBrinkk checking out Disney Castle up to Minnie's office and
the library.
And not finding anything but a blizzard in this first part. So we already have the Agrabah 2 starter kit with both of our runners.
Actually, we don't have a thunder.
We do. Yeah. When we started, I saw the Chicken Little as a thunder.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I looked closer, I'm like, oh wait, that's Chicken Little. So my wires are getting crossed here a little bit.
And it's okay. We won't need to go to Agrabah 2 to see it write comics.
Correct. We don't have to go
no
to Agrabah at
all.
all.
Require us at all. Yeah, Agrabah. Actually, they removed it in the most recent update. They just
not at all.
No. Agrabah's just in too many Kingdom Hearts games. We're done with it. Also, heard as making the wrong decision of not save warping here. I will gatekeep that.
If you don't have at least level 3 movement, it is objectively slower to walk instead of taking the save warp and everything.
That's not true.
That's not true?
Yeah.
Is it not true?
No. Save warping is always faster. I've tested with all movements.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
okay.
Even with max movement.
Oh, dang.
It's just a shorter line.
Yeah. That's fair. Plus, it stops the timer.
Exactly.
Alright, taking a second to check out our Keyblades. We got ourselves an Experience Boost Keyblade. And we are going to push the mouse. So, LittleHerdez is going to be picking up the first objective of the seed.
Yeah, we'll see a very quick thing here. Also we'll get one check access outside of the completion mark itself, so let's see what we get there as well as the progression point. But Brink pushing forward into station, looks like just leveling Valor here. It looked like they were trying to death abuse, but I don't think Donald interfered in sword attack, so it was just a little Donald's attacking. But strength not too high, so should be able to hit head count relatively easy. And we also have Magnera we can use to do that. People always undercut how quickly you can hit head count with Magnera, because if you just keep killing everything, you're going to do hits more often. Yeah, okay, it's just finding the moment to take enough damage there. Got a scimitar and nominated sketches.
Yeah.
So we already have access to another objective, and unfortunately, I guess Agrabah's still in the game.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I guess that update hasn't been patched through yet.
No. Yeah.
Trinity limit, very strong. Once Herdez goes to station, that's going to be really nice for STT there.
Yeah. Welcome in, Raiders. Just in time for the start of this match between aBrinkk and LittleHerdez for Swiss Round 5. But all right, we're getting two new world pushes. We're going into Pride Lands over on LittleHerdez's side. Oh, nice Light and Darkness, as well as another membership card over on LittleHerdez's side. And aBrinkk getting the first Way of the Dawn.
So we'll see if people end up doing any Rule Never Was pushes, unless they're required to. Doing like a nice Roxas push can always be some good checks per minute and good progression points, and also give you leveling options. Obviously, being the last world can be a very strong experience.
100%. Yeah, the LittleHerdez doing what you said and making good use of those Magneras to catch the living bones.
Yep. Doing the Brightland shotgun here. Of course, this is a world you're never going to see much changing in, and if you're a little newer to the rando scene, you might be wondering why we usually start here. It's just because we can't really... The only fight we do is just that opening fight, and the next thing is the end of the world with the Hyenas fight and Scar. So we can get every single chest in this world in under 4 minutes, which is incredibly strong, and you don't really need anything, especially because there's a very convenient RNG manipulation that if you do not do anything that shifts the RNG from the start of the game, you can just do the RC and take care of them with a quick succession. But before that, we still had another strategy to deal with them. But either way, we can't really speed up this world very much to get all these chests, but anything we find here, because it's going to be the same time anyway, will speed up potentially everything else. If we get any movement here, if we get a couple glides, that would be incredibly good time save later on. If we get like a form or anything else that's valuable here, which we're not seeing a lot. We got that once more. Got the identity as for Blizzard.
Blizzard. So we have Blizzaga already.
Very cold seed.
Yeah. I got a Shiva seed. I'll say.
Exactly.
But we did find a Thunder as well in Agrabah, so now we have Agrabah. The Agrabah.
There's you just were a little optimistic.
Yeah,
I knew we were gonna get it soon.
I was a little ahead of the curve. There we go.
Bring something going to TT before.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna climb tower. I mean, we've got good crowd control. We've got a lot of ranged magic and everything. LittleHerdez is going to be using that light and darkness, going to be getting final form here in the World Never Was.
A little curious why aBrinkk is deciding to push tower prior to doing Pride Lands. Maybe they just forgot that they have the Proud Fang, but can still get these quick chests here. I'm curious to see if we'll go forward in tower. Would be the worst thing, but no, we're just leaving here. Let's see where they go next. Dipping into HB.
Okay. We haven't seen this world yet.
Yeah, and we do have both membership cards, so you can already go all the way. Already have access to that core objective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another one that's going to be really tough here at this point in the run, but we do have access to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend maybe doing that immediately. Also, did we have? I guess Herdez of Light and Darkness. I missed that Final Force.
Yeah, so that was in the first 3 of Pride Lands. Was
so something useful in Pride Lands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and once more in membership card.
Well, I don't think Herdez is planning on getting hit, so that's okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't think anybody plans to get hit in Rando unless you're auto form grinding.
Exactly.
So
see, maybe I don't plan for it, but I think I know it's an inevitability for me. But
yeah. True.
These players know what they're doing. They're not gonna get hit.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll knock on wood.
Yeah. The other good thing is for both of these runners here doing the Bailey fight, this will get them their last progression point that they need for their first set of hints. So we can start kind of figuring out where we need to go. I think the biggest hint that these runners are looking for is that that other royal summons. So that way they can get the rest of the 3 objectives that are in DCTR.
Yeah, and what's going to be really curious to see is... Okay, I was going to say, we're curious to see what worlds exactly get hinted, because we obviously don't have the most options of where we can go right now. Our biggest plays that we have left to go to is obviously just further into Hollow Bastion and then STT. Once both players get that on Monday sketches, which Herdez now has finals. So I'm sure we will be seeing the station fight very soon. I think we have some Firefox in the shop. I didn't catch that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be more on top of these things. I'm sorry.
There's a lot going on. There's 2 runners. I mean,
there's 2 runners. Rando's great. We heckin' love Rando. It's a little hard to keep up here.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
so we're seeing a bit of a departure.
Mm-hmm.
aBrinkk going further into OC, actually going to Hades Escape. Should be able to make relatively quick work of Hades Escape with that Magnera and the fires.
Mm-hmm.
Herdez pushing further into HB. Probably just doing this kind of further shotgun of just going up to the computer. It's a little good check. It's really good checks for minutes, and obviously just sets you up to do that core objective when it comes up. I'm sure we'll even see a shotgunning of core also.
Right. Getting a torn page on levels on aBrink's side. Also just taking a second to look at our hints that we got. We got another torn page in Master Form in Hollow Bastion. Neither of those really going to do anything for us right now, but if we get a hint, those could be pretty useful. We got an identity disc in 100 Acre, so access to SP2. So
yeah,
for one of our objectives. Ooh.
Break taking a death at the end of OC. I don't know, at the end of Hades Escape.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to use a potion, but was out. Herdez getting a glide here in corridors. That's definitely going to be a really nice time save here. Hopefully we see Brink push into that second Hollow Bastion visit after being Pride Lands, just to not let that glide diff get too wide.
100%. Yeah, because that distance between Glide 1 and Glide 2 is it's quite considerable.
Really all the glides are really just like probably one of the biggest like buff you really get. Glide 1 and Glide 2 is crazy. Glide 2 to Glide 3 is crazy. Glide 3 to Glide 4 is crazy, but Glide 3 is already so fast that rooms in Kingdom Hearts 2 are not very big usually. So you get a little bit of diminishing returns on that Glide 4 where it doesn't hit you that much, but those first 3 are really instrumental.
Yeah, that Glide 4 is the want to see me run to that mountain and back, want to see me do it again.
Exactly,
type,
you're already there.
Type speed. We're getting chased down a little bit, but getting out of the way.
Yeah. Like I said, this is going to definitely be a very tough fight this early. if you don't like have a good way to deal. Oh my gosh, interrupting that RC is crazy. Already used both my potions.
Using back cry for iframes, good fight.
Yeah, I think there's still a shadow
combat
alive.
mechanics. Shadow being a troll as usual.
Those know that when Hades does do a second fireball back to back, that is the triple fireball. There is no like thing that allows him to do just a double fireball, so you can expect that you'll see another fireball to watch out for. Mm-hmm. But good job you there, get through it with Valor.
I think there might be a negative combo on that Keyblade for Valor, because it's very quick into that finisher.
We're seeing a course skip from LittleHerdez. Oh, an attempt.
Ooh. Very close.
I was gonna say, I don't know if LittleHerdez knows the strat. There's an old strat that was found by Sonic back when the course skip was first discovered that used Final Form to get across that gap. It hasn't been used in a long time just because course skip hasn't been allowed in so many tournaments. But that is a way to get through there with this movement. Just not having many quick runs to work with, and also order like combo masters and like that. Since you cannot, weird mechanic of the game, you cannot glide when you do not have a floor. So over that gap, you're wondering, why didn't they just glide across that? You can't.
I was always curious why exactly that was.
Yeah, I have to imagine it's just like an oversight. Because that would be a very weird thing to create a mechanic for.
Right. Well, and there aren't any like deadly drops in KH.
Exactly.
And anything like that, so yeah.
Or any of the Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that's true. aBrinkk getting through. He's escaped now using Mickey strats for the Cerberus fight. Meanwhile, yeah, LittleHerdez finishing up to Demyx and not finding the Master Form yet, but making very good, significant progress. Going back to Twilight Town. Also getting a good amount of levels on LittleHerdez's side.
Yeah, LittleHerdez finally making it over here for the station fight, but already gotten our final to level 4. Don't really need to do much here.
Finding an ice cream right in the lobby of Olympus Coliseum on aBrinkk's side. So that gets us one step closer to the fight with Axel objective.
Yeah, and people might discount that objective just because it's so far into a world. People may forget Twilight Town 3 is an incredibly powerful world to go to, just not only from just a checks per minute perspective, but also it is the prime leveling spot. So, like,
100%.
back in the day, prior to like having first and second visit locks, basically the entire meta was around rushing there as quickly as possible. So if you had a final and experience boost, that was entirely what Rando was built on, was just level as fast as you can.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Also getting a few more hints from LittleHerdez's side. Disney Castle has no more like world unlock items. Actually, it's blue, so it doesn't have any more important checks. But it does have 3. It does have 3 objectives left. So we have a Wisdom Form in Pride Lands. This is from our prior hint, but we have the other Proud Fang and the other Battlefields of War in The World Never Was. So really good information coming across here. We're learning about a lot of where our forms are.
Yeah, not too bad.
100%. Finishing up our tower climb for LittleHerdez. Dewey. Do we have 2 castle climbs in this? Do we have 2 tower climbs in this game, or do we have a tower and a castle climb?
You know, that entirely depends on your opinion on the rule never was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my opinion is that it's not anything, because it's a world that never was. Drinking a bad death of dynamics. Yeah, those water clones do it. Considering they only have 1 HP, you'd really think that they don't do much damage, but they will mess you up.
Right. Well, and your party members are also aggroing them a little bit, so they can kind of retaliate.
Yeah, they have some of the highest like DPS in the game, where they will just combo you with a high damage thing that you just don't expect. Like on Armored Xemnas 1 can summon them, and you might just forget that they're there, and then you just die.
100%. Yeah. We got LittleHerdez doing the next mini game in 100 Acre. Yeah, really looking for that identity disc to make that SP objective good. Which is totally fair. You don't know how the seed's going to play out in the early game. Not sure if you're going to find your skill in crossbones, find your... well, and the other thing is Subuki Cave is also on there, so this does kind of twofold, getting you closer to the identity disc and also for that objective as well. So, we're getting a Bone Fist over on aBrink's side off of Demix.
Yeah, which could come in handy considering we do have Experiment on the board here, but we are just getting access to a lot of our objectives pretty early. We're getting pretty close to quite a few of them, so I'm curious to see how this seed really plays out. Doing Kanga's house here, not finding anything too much, but any common boost is very nice. But let's see if it does go to 49 here. If not, the average, like whatever the acceptable amount of ridicule will be permitted.
My thing that I like to do with this game is when you finish the game, trying to see if you can get back down to the blanket and not get caught like that. That's just what I like to have fun with that game.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no fun to be had with that game. You get a 49 or you stop playing. Unfortunately, those are the rules, and you know the rules, and so do I.
Well, now I do. I didn't know that was a rule.
Luxord even asks you, do you know the rules? Yeah,
he's just a fan of Rick Astley.
You wouldn't know that Luxord's very passionate about the Kanga's House minigame.
There you go.
Let's make sure that you know what the deal is. So we're seeing more crossover. We're going to see Brink go into King's House in a moment. Actually, never mind. Brink does not have that extra turn page from OC. No, they have one from OC. We're still on the way.
The Hollow Bastion.
Hollow Bastion. It's a little tough because they have different tracker layouts, and it's hard for me to keep up.
100%. So each of them have. No, they don't. They don't have 3 each. Wait, then where does... Oh, okay. It was an early on.
Because they both have their own OC. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, one thing to point out is aBrinkk did find a glide at the end of OC, the OC push. So
yeah. So that glide diff, not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah, so we got LittleHerdez pushing up to Abu and see if there's just anything good in the shotgun of Agrabah.
Bring Optin for a little bit of experience in this beginning of Halloween Town. Luckily still able to death fuse quickly on the soldier.
100%. This is our first push into here, so see if we got anything good in this shotgun.
HP. Doesn't look like anything too interesting, but see if Candy Cane Lane has anything to show for it.
Yeah.
Well, Looking at Herdez finishing up aBrinkk, I'm curious to see where he opts to go. Either starting to dip into OC, or maybe starting to look at STT as an option here.
Leveling
Skill and
Ooh.
crossbones from
Oh,
Ottawa.
on an
Oh
auto
no,
limit.
Herdez is gonna eat. Herdez is doubling down. I respect this.
Yeah,
Like if you're playing from ahead when it comes to some like leveling, I understand just like continuing that lead. Or not.
Well, I mean, this is considered an encounter, and the ice cubes drop, or the ice blocks drop MP orbs. So
yeah,
yeah,
I have
really,
never seen that.
Yeah. So yeah, I respect it. Especially led to skill and crossbones, which yeah, on auto limit, that's not one that really expecting early on.
No, only one objective in PR, but objective is an objective. Getting another Thunder off the bat.
Yeah, two objectives in PR. So we got the barrels and we got the
I see Minute Fight. Yeah.
And plus with our magic stat and everything, we can do some good leveling in the minute fight as well.
Yeah, we'll be able to. I don't think we'll be able to two-shot yet with. I guess with Blizzaga we will.
Mm.
I was thinking about the Thunder.
Mm. Well, I mean, we do have Thundara. Yeah. Got Thundara, got experience boost.
Yeah.
Got a chicken to fall back
the
on.
experience boost has 0 magic, so.
Oh, yeah. That's rough. We got aBrinkk pushing into LOD. See if there's anything good going on here.
Yeah, seeing an interesting divergence here.
Mm-hmm.
Brink opting for a little more of the pushes that aren't directly tied to objectives, but hoping to get something to show for it.
Absolutely. Also, nice explosion in the town of Port Royal.
I had explosion there in my tiebreaker scene, I think.
Nice. It's just the place.
Who's rolling this stuff? Okay, well, the voice in my head said that my tiebreaker race was not rolled by the same person as the scene, so.
Well, and I mean, everything's blowing up in that town anyway. You got all the barrels that blow up, so
exactly,
of course there's going to be an explosion.
It's a little hard to tell. It's just more foreshadowing. Yeah. Little Chekhov's explosion.
Yeah. What's a 5th explosion in that town?
Exactly. That town, the insurance must be crazy there.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Also, very just optimal damage there. Not that we would have too much, so we have once more. If you get clipped by Axe Pirate, it should be pretty easy to hit that point. But
right,
Herdez will be going lower on the incline here, just because the shots from the sniper pirates are actually completely like static elevation-wise. They're not shooting directly at you; they're just shooting at you, like your direction, but not down. So it will go right above your head as long as Herdez doesn't use a thunder or an item, because those things make Sora stand tall. It can't hit you.
There you go. Yeah, get some good experience out of this, and some level ups. We're gonna see what's at the checkpoint here on aBrinkk's side. Nothing important check-wise, but we're gonna start climbing up the hill. As what's her face would say, run up that hill. I can't remember the name. Oh well.
Kate Bush.
Kate Bush. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remembering Kate Bush as we get our first objective, or not our first objective in PR on LittleHerdez's side, and we'll soon be getting our second one because of the barrels here in a second. Oh,
Yeah,
another
there's been
glide.
some well lined up blizzards.
Mhm.
Okay, so another glide is very nice here.
Mhm.
We're definitely getting rewarded for these plays,
Mhm.
going towards all the glides. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
not towards one of them, but
Right. Getting a good another Way of the Dawn over on aBrink's side for access to The World Never Was 2 Electric Boogaloo. Alright.
yeah, Herdez now having after barrels will have done all the objectives, but I'm sure we'll push all the way to Barbosa just because from a progression point standpoint, checks per minute, and you can also do some more leveling on the way there. It's just there's not really a reason not to.
Mm-hmm. Also in the process, LittleHerdez has found another set of hints. Ooh, been a bit sketchy here. We're good. There we go. Found another set of hints. Yeah.
aBrinkk also got from Melody, just got Away to the Dawn, but Will Never Was not having any unlocks that directly lead to objectives. I'm not sure if we'll be ending up being able to make use of that. But
but we got another torn page hinted in STT as well as Beast Claw. And we also found out where Limit Form is. It is just chilling in Space Paranoids. So that's kind of fun.
We do have one of those identity discs being hinted. So we'll see if if 100 Acre pays out.
Right.
But I have a feeling we'll be seeing Herdez push into SCT after this world, just with that hint there, knowing that he will be nothing but rewarded for doing so.
Right.
Between objectives and torn page.
Well, and also if you think about it, with there being a torn page in STT, if that identity disc is on eating the bear, then you would have to go into STT to get with no limit form to get an access to limit form, unless there's another way with the other identity disc. But LittleHerdez is going into STT. We do have Trinity Limit. We do have Fire. So we've still got some good tools for in here.
Make quick work of those struggles, regardless of. I will say Brink will have a decent glide advantage when Brink goes into that world.
Absolutely. Yeah. And looking at Herdez's side and looking at his tracker, seeing all of the objectives he has access to, I count 8. So, yeah, very good amount. Plus, we haven't seen Beast Castle yet, so there might be some good stuff just chilling away in there. aBrinkk is now going to Pride Lands. He'll be picking up Light Darkness, Once More, Lazaga, more Hall of Bastion access. So.
Yeah, we're gonna see some. Ooh, okay, and getting the bite. I think Brink might have been trying to bait out the RC there.
Maybe.
I think that's what maybe it was doing. But getting that Light and Darkness now, so that's gonna be very strong. I kind of forgot that Brink doesn't have access to Final, but unfortunately, Brink's also not gonna have the most opportunities to really level Final anymore.
Oh wow!
I guess we can go to TT2, and then we'll have HP2. And then I guess he does have access to that world that never was now.
Also, first check in STT was the torn page.
That has to be the strangest mount to the RC I've ever seen. Just got it from nothing. Like,
huh? Interesting. Yeah. But now we have Spooky Cave access.
Just like that. So it just could leave. And hope for that limit for him.
Also, we got another set of hints on LittleHerdez's side. The last torn page is chilling in Twilight Town. And then we also have Agrabah hinted it is done as far as world unlocks, forms go. But there's still more important checks. So, there we go. aBrinkk gonna go ahead and just force his final form now.
LittleHerdez is gonna stay the course. I understand.
Yeah, you gotta go fight Axel 2 anyway, so...
Axel 1.
Axel... Oh, that is Axel 1. Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the icons confuse me a little bit.
The one that really ever used to ever get me was just OC Pete.
Yeah. Well, then whenever the cups show up, I was like, okay, which one is this cup?
Oh yeah, you definitely do the concerned hover over to see what cup it says.
Yeah.
And then inevitably got us a fade. You're like, cool, I'm not doing that cup.
Cool.
Not gonna happen. Break doing what I was saying, just going straight to TT2 here, doing the Berserker fight. Looks like hoping to try to bait out some damage, but doesn't have the Exibus Keyblade on, so. At least I don't think. I think it was final, not final Ultima, not Omega Weapon. Could be wrong.
A little scary now.
Duh. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, but we are into the struggle fights over on LittleHerdez's side. Coming up to that Axel 1 objective.
For a second, it looked like LittleHerdez was here to meet Brink, but
yeah, we're on other sides of the computer with these two.
Outside looking in.
Yep.
All right, able to get through that time, and able to get Final 3 from just that fight alone.
You said outside, always looking in. My theater brain.
More should I ever been more than I've always been? Just tapping on the glass. Waving through a window.
Whoa!
You know you're talking.
Oh my god!
you know you're talking to the right person if you want to get.
Oh my,
the theater
dude,
stuff.
we're the theater guys. Well,
we are the theater kids over here, the commentator.
Well, I mean, we also got Jesus. Like there's a lot of theater people in Rando, but on comms right now, yeah,
we're just the special type of weirdos when it comes to this. Just in a Rando and theater.
Yep. There you go. There's a Venn diagram.
We'll do a cover of Simple and Clean at some point.
Oh, well, you come to reconnect. Anyway. All right, so we got an HB2 push from aBrinkk. We are past Axel 1, getting that objective over on LittleHerdez's side, and now going to be checking out, see if we can find that Beast Claw and whatever else this world has. And hey, there's the Beast Claw. The world has nothing else. That answers both of my questions.
Well, I guess now we know where we have access.
So now, does LittleHerdez peace out here, or nope? We're going to continue on because we still have the Data Roxas objective here.
Yeah, aBrinkk now at Glide 4 compared to Herdez's Glide 2. So that glide diff really flipping.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, so right now, based on what we've seen from both of our runners and everything, right now I think we are looking for the other Bone Fist, the other Identity Disc, at least hinted, because we know where one is. We're looking for the other Royal Summons, and we know where a second Ice Cream is on aBrinkk's side, but we're looking for that last Ice Cream to be in full know mode of where to go for our objectives, get access to our objectives.
On the inch of mode.
Yeah.
We're taking the death there.
Mm-hmm.
Fire not going to work too well on the Crimson Jazz.
Yeah.
So Herdez is going to do the end of SCT here, just leaving that opportunity open for Data Roxas if need be. Maybe hoping that we're also going to have to go through Space Paranoids for that Solar Sailor objective, just so we'll have Limit Form to work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, just something to point out, so far in this seed, we are reflectless. It is the only magic we have not found.
We have found so many tools, but that is not one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bit unfortunate, but our league runners and everything like that, we don't need reflect.
Yeah, aBrinkk now getting his opportunity to dip into core here. Well, aBrinkk also does the core skip attempt. Not looking at chests. Oh, just not wanted to go on the way out. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so used to everyone doing the clip to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, barely not having the fight there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think if you're even with the ledge and everything like that, the magnet isn't going to, while you're in it, it's going to dip you down below, I think.
Yeah, you need to be at the right timing of it.
Yeah. All right, but LittleHerdez finishing up our trip into STT and now going into OC. So getting up to the Pete fight, going to be picking up quite a few useful items. World unlocks.
Herdez wants the glide here.
That's true. Also checking out the form levels that we've got on our runner side. We don't know what's on Valor 4 yet. Actually, we do have Dry Forms hinted. And it has our other Royal Summons. So,
well, now we know where to go. Or what to try.
Absolutely. Yeah, it had the skill and crossbones, and it had the Royal Summons. So, yeah, so two very important world unlocks for us for objectives.
Yeah, I'm a little... That's definitely not what you want to see. You do not want to see the most important unlock being on forms. Because...
Now it's form roulette.
It's form roulette, and now you need to route around getting all the forms, and I'm not ready for that.
Right. And looking at our worlds where our forms are, right, which I think all of them are hinted, is the is Pride Lands, Hall of Bastion, and Space Paranoids. Only one of which is on the way to other objectives. So, Yeah, it's could be interesting. And luckily, if you decided not to go for forms and the other royal summons and everything like that, you still have enough objectives left over to finish out what's needed in the seed. You would just need to get everything else.
Yes.
So,
which would be a little rough because especially considering that first objective being only the first visit, it could work out that way. I don't know if I'd like that world. Where you have to do everything else because going to do a Storm Rider, then you want to do a Twix, then going to do Solar System, because all these other objectives are all at the end of the world.
Right.
Certainly not what I'd call ideal.
aBrinkk taking another trip into OC to finish out his first objective, which was OC Pete.
And deciding to go through to Hydra.
All right.
Once again, Brick and LittleHerdez meeting in the same room, just at different points in time.
Mm-hmm. One is constructed, one is deconstructed.
Yeah. We're just seeing another future a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Get some remodeling. It'd be kind of funny if Brink could, because you could see the platform there from behind Hydra.
Right.
You could see LittleHerdez doing the errands during this fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it had like something like Link to the Past Rando, where you can see like the ghost of like your buddy doing
exactly.
I think there is a KH2 multiplayer mod or something like that.
Is there?
Or am I? I think I might be confusing it with something else. Voice in my head says it's cooked. The mod, not the seed. Yet.
That's fair. The voice in the voice in our heads did not say that the seed is cooked yet, but I'm sure got something to say.
Yeah, I hear voices in my head, but now they're the normal kind.
God, we just keep going with the theater.
I was gonna say, I'm like, do you
Be
get
More
it?
Chill reference? Of course.
Be More Chill. Let's go. Video games
So,
in theater. That's like the only one.
We're just like a 2-player game over here, man.
Yeah. Remind me to talk to you about something after this is done.
You got it.
You're gonna love it. Anyway.
I better.
Yeah. Oh, you dude. Anyway. So.
Karaoke reconnecting me crazy.
Oh yeah, dude, trust me. Anyway, LittleHerdez doing some fun strats here on Demix, because when you pull in all of the water clones, you can go into Valor form and be like, hey, everything is in the same area. I'm just going to hit everything real quick and get some nice Valor experience. So, very good.
Unfortunately, the actual RC doesn't give you any Valor experience, but the hits to proc the RC still do.
Right. All right, so getting some really useful information here, right? We're starting to kill off some of our worlds with these hints that we're getting. So, for example, PR is dead. We got the Thunder, and that was the only important thing there besides objectives. And also OC is dead. So beyond this lock, we don't really need to do anything else. So yeah, getting some good hints, and it's also starting to be very telling where the rest of our unlocks are, right? Because
yes, like a little bit of process elimination.
Yeah. So
anything that's not hinted at this point, we know is either in Halloween Town or BC,
or levels.
That's true. Yeah. Speaking of Halloween Town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Could the world unlock for Halloween Town just be in Halloween Town?
You know, maybe it could. Or maybe we get a little back and forth action of BC and Halloween Town into BC.
You know, yeah, Just trading off. Yeah.
We're still waiting on both of those locks.
100%.
Feels like a good bit of chain logic. Says Zach Robot.
Love it. It's so good. All right, and then we got aBrinkk going into STT. Going to be getting up to Axel. And I'm trying to remember, the Beast Claw was on Sunset Terrace, so yeah, we'll see if aBrinkk goes further beyond to get closer to the Data Roxas objective, or if we're just gonna chill after that.
So, curious to see how much further we choose to go here at all. Because at this point, we're looking for unlocks. But I'm a little interested to see if LittleHerdez kind of pulls a little more wide and does like the first half of this and the first half of BC, since that's also a lot of checks.
True. Because we haven't seen BC
like we're
yet.
Doing Prison Keeper here, though.
Right.
Because I do understand prioritizing this over BC because there's an objective here and there's not one in BC, but I think you're kind of hoping that you don't have to do this.
Correct, but you're also getting progression points, so you will find more answers to where things will be.
Also a little surprised that LittleHerdez hasn't gone to Spooky yet.
Yeah, because it's an objective, it's a progression point, could possibly have the identity disc to get you one step closer to the objective in SP2, but also the limit form that's there that could get you closer to the other royal summons. So, because now that we've gotten Valor up to 4, we know that we needed at least another form to get closer to our royal summons.
Because the only things that these worlds can really have at this point that are unhinted are just, I mean, things that'll help, like any of the spells and unhinted locks that also aren't required, as far as we know.
Right.
So, when the thing that I'd probably expect runners to route around at this point of the seed is just trying to bum rush those forms best he can.
Absolutely.
Just because when you know there's no worse feeling than when you know something's in forms and all your forms are maxed out as far as you can, and you're like, cool, nothing I can really do about that.
Right. All right, but going into our Oogie fight. So honestly, LittleHerdez might do Oogie into Spooky Cave.
Perhaps. I also wouldn't be that surprised if it was a dip into BC.
Right. Also, how are our stats looking?
Not great.
Yeah.
Like, they're not bad, but they're a little too even. Like, she looks like it's substantially from armor, considering Brink's only 2 levels behind and is 11 defense behind.
Yeah. Well, and that also might be from putting on some equipment as well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think it's armor centric. No, there's just 11, 5.5 defense ups on the next 2 levels for Brink.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we know the other Bone Fist wasn't in Halloween Town. So we're going into Spoopy.
Yeah, very happy to see this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope that we find the identity disc here as well. Because if not, then we're starting the blind hunt for the ice cream there to get there.
Mm. True.
Though there is still an identity disc in the wild that we could find a different one.
Correct. And that, like our Bone Fist, is also in a spot where the worlds that aren't hinted is where it's at. Yeah.
Oh, someone fell behind.
Man. Hate to see it. aBrinkk also.
Objective there. And we get that identity disc.
Very nice.
I heard this was gonna go to Swords One that never was, even though it just spawned in the portal.
Yeah, and that was also the only thing that was in in a 100 Acre as well. So, also aBrinkk pieced out right after the Axel hint, so didn't get the Beast Claw. Alright, seeing if we can get this limit form really early in.
Not in the shotgun, but...
But then again, this leveling spot, I mean, we don't have quite the stat, the magic stat for just shooting up magnets and then everything dies. But we do have magnet, we do have explosion, so we got some good tools for that. All right, aBrinkk getting his next objective. All right.
It's now pushing to BC.
Yeah. And judging by the armor being taken off, I think we're going to try and go for a death abuse.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well it's going to work. It's not. I probably just turning the limit, though.
Right.
Yeah, especially considering he's just going to kill things whenever he walks.
Mm.
That
wasn't too... It was pretty good. Oh, also we did get hints for BC, and boy howdy, that's a Bone Fist.
And
there's our first reflect. Our first reflect. Our second reflect.
Oh my gosh.
Right next to it.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, voice in my head. That is a little uncalled for.
Also, the hint for BC, my god. Skill and Crossbones, Bone Fist, Final Form, the last ice cream. So pretty much everything was here to, like, get us going on a few different worlds. So. All right, here's one of them. You know, their Skill and Crossbones. Very nice.
It's okay. I'm sure the last reflect's also here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so once we get that ice cream and Bone Fist, that will unlock 2 of our objectives. Also, Halloween Town has the other identity disc. So yeah, so we're kind of in no mode at this point. And if we need to go to BC2, then We need to level. Nice quick kill on Twilight Thorn there, or Thresholder. My gosh.
For giving us a free cutscene.
It's just one of those days. aBrinkk finishing up our push into Pride Lands. At least up until Simba. We'll see if aBrinkk decides to do anything more. Or these both are unlocks right beside each other in the catacombs there.
We're just still going forward. Not sure what exactly looking for, but just probably hoping for.
See if we can find the third reflect.
Yeah, at this point, you know it's here.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Aerial finish.
Love to see it. It's funny whenever... Do you ever get this feeling whenever you have a world that's like hinted green and isn't quite blue yet, every ability chest turns into a second chance once more possibility?
Certainly.
Is this one second chance? Okay, so
for me, I look at my tracker to see if a glide appeared. Like the moment I open the chest.
Nice. Okay. All right, but that's all from this shotgun. We got aBrinkk leveling wisdom in the world never was, which honestly,
make use of the auto wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, like auto limit is how LittleHerdez got into Port Royal and everything. So yeah, definitely a good play. Finish leveling Valor up while LittleHerdez goes into TT2.
Yep, let's go open XP boost it.
Yeah, one more hit just to make sure. It feels so nice to see reflect.
It's really how this game meant to be played.
Mm. Imagine a concept, if you will, reflect in Kingdom Hearts 2. Just imagine. All right, aBrinkk thinking about leveling auto limit. Looks like we are. One more slap. There we go. All right, so aBrinkk probably going to be picking up the...
Always almost slash.
Love to see it. aBrinkk going into PR. Chase down those objectives. curious. What do you think LittleHerdez is looking for?
Well, he just got an auto master, so has access to all the auto forms.
That's true.
So if it's on earlier than any of these forms, that's going to be very nice. LittleHerdez is honestly just looking to get normal Sora levels right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it's once more, not second chance, so probably just need to take damage to the creepers.
Right. Also, I completely forgot that Storm Rider was one of our objectives. So.
Yep.
So you could push through all of LOD and everything.
You could.
Like that.
It wouldn't be fun.
Yeah. You wouldn't really be getting a ton out of it.
Like Experiment, it is one of those, like, I'm doing an entire world just for one objective, which is like, sometimes it'd be like that, and I'd rather do Experiment in that situation. Also, who does getting the last beast club there?
Yep. Level 28, and there's still more on levels.
I mean, surely a reflect.
Surely. 100%. I think it's the other magnet.
The two dual stands for fun.
Alright, there we go. Through the mansion fight. Gonna step in there. Still, the only other important, well, the hinted important thing here in Twilight Town is the torn page, so seeing if there's anything past that. This aerial dive, love to see it. Alright, we're just about to refight with Axel. There's our torn page. There is something more here.
Would it be a reflect?
It could be. Oh, it could be. What color is that chest?
It looks like a magic.
Ooh. What we got? Also, aBrinkk picking up the minute fight objective.
Oh my gosh, here it is.
It is scary.
They're playing with fire there.
Well, he's now playing with fire. He was being very dangerous there. So.
There's second chance and a magnet.
Okay, so I was backwards on that. So magnet was in TT. Second chance on levels. All right, cool. Nice 10 in Twilight Town. Love to see it. All right. And with that second chance once more, now you're kind of in a more comfortable spot to do auto leveling. Not too scared of dying. And honestly, LittleHerdez might be thinking about going to the room with the gamblers and leveling Auto Master.
It does look like that's what we're doing.
There we go. Right.
Though also has Auto Wisdom on, so it cycles between them.
Mm-hmm.
That's how multiple auto forms work.
Mm-hmm. We know from over on aBrink's side that Auto Wisdom up to 4 doesn't have anything important, and neither does Auto Master. Okay, so we need another.
Unfortunately, we know that none of the we now have to go out of our way.
Yeah. If we're gonna go and get the royal summons to get 3 quick objectives. Yeah. It looks like LittleHerdez is
just going to do auto wisdom just to top it off.
Right. aBrinkk leveling in SP. After getting both the objectives in PR. So, yeah, aBrinkk will probably... What level are we? Oh, yeah. We'll definitely get the Beast Claw on levels. Yep, right there. So, has access to the last ice cream, to the other Bone Fist, so what is what's our next play here? Alright, so continuing in Space Paranoids over on aBrink's side. Seeing if we can
we'll see if Liviform is just there.
Yeah. Which honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see LittleHerdez do this too. Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's the easiest form to get at this point.
Because it's not out of the way at all.
Right. Yeah. So
we can also just go for Master Form and HB if they feel ready to do any of the core fights.
Mm-hmm. aBrinkk taking a second to think. Going into Beast Castle. Going to go ahead and get all of the stuff that he needs. Meanwhile, LittleHerdez is tracing aBrink's steps right now. aBrinkk going for the hint or the hit count. Getting both the reflex. Alright. LittleHerdez doing some really solid leveling here in Space Paranoids.
Yeah, finally our stats are getting to the point that this is remotely working.
100% starting to get to the upper half of the 20s.
This is crazy at level 38.
Which the thing is, we're not quite at World That Never Was levels of stats, but then again, World That Never Was isn't necessary for the siege. The only thing that's necessary for those types of stats would be Data Roxas. And right now we're in the low 30s for both of our stats. That's pretty solid. At level 43 too. aBrinkk taking a second to level auto limit here in the thresholder fight. Wow, 30 defense too, yeah. That is quite the defense stat, actually. Alright, so we'll see if LittleHerdez goes into the hostile program fight. We are going to see it.
Yeah, I have any reason not to.
Right.
Trying to find out if we don't have to push forward here, but I don't think Curtis will mind pushing forward here since that's voice player is a thing, but we are getting towards the point that you know where things roughly are, and you can start kind of just picking where you want to go, assuming you can even get that going on forums.
Yeah. Getting a nice double hostile program fight. Hey,
limit form. Okay.
Love it. There's still more here, including an objective.
Yes, there is.
But that's nice. All right.
So Herdez does have everything prepped outside of obviously the ones in TR. The casual light cycle of shame.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have a second visit. Yep.
Nope.
So I think now we're probably going to go into go get the experiment objective, then go back to Space Paranoids, and in the process see if we can level up some of our forms here.
We'll break another dev.
LittleHerdez making some headway into Halloween Town 2. Hopefully we find this identity disc on the way to experiment.
So I wouldn't be too annoyed if I just had to do a quick little dip at Vexen.
Yeah.
Not like it takes very long.
Right. On the presence. All right, and there's our identity disc off of presence 2. Quickly do the experiment and then go right back into.
Yeah, it's
probably
now...
on.
Yeah. Just got a little bit of back and forth. Just getting through what we need to. Seeing if we can level some forms while we're at it. Curious if we'll prioritize Auto Master or Auto Wisdom in Space Paranoids. I assume Auto Wisdom, but I don't know if we have a drive converter. If so, then we can get some good Astro levels as well.
Right. Yeah, but also thinking about what else we've got to do in this seed, right? So we have our push to the last just a core, and what looks like an entire push through LOD.
Good guard there.
Nice job. So the good thing is with this routing and what objectives we have left, we might be seeing...
and there's the
okay. So never mind.
Okay, this...
So that's go mode, right?
Just got very interesting.
Yeah, because LittleHerdez marking down, okay, here's the objectives now. Yeah.
Oh, turn to the side.
Okay. That's fair. Because honestly, of the two, the last Just a Core and the Space Paranoids fights, well, honestly, that's a bit of a toss-up. Which
last
one do you
Just a
think?
Core is definitely faster, but I think this chance he's worried about like making a mistake, but.
Which even still, like this and
Solar
last
Sailor
Just
is
a Core.
fine, like because it's Solar Sailor, not MCP or anything. It's not like it'll take long.
Right. I'm just thinking of like the safety of the force fights.
Yeah.
Because the I'm trying to think, Annihilators. Trying to think.
The Devastators.
Devastators. Thank you. It's
Like, come to the right place if you want to know enemy names.
Yeah. The Devastators are a little bit annoying and everything like that, but I think they're a lot easier than like the cars or the hot rods and the core lancers and stuff like that. Like I think
Lance Warriors.
I'm in the ballpark. Also, aBrinkk going to be getting Royal Summons right here.
Not treating them too harsh as far as the way that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because the good thing is, like, if we were going to go through core and do the last chest and everything like that, there's a possibility we could have come across master on the way. So another possibility of finding another route to, if it was on a 6 or on master or something like that. But yeah, no, like
the unfortunate thing, if it wasn't a later form, we probably would have hit a thing where you'd basically go towards all the objectives just to get the forms enough, and then you would still have to do TR but have so much progress in other places and be like, ooh, this sucks.
Right. All right, so we got aBrinkk pushing the 3 here in TR right now, and then we have LittleHerdez picking up a genie there before MCP, which good core tools, but we're not going to be seeing core. We're going to be seeing the last fight of TT3 to get another objective for LittleHerdez before going into TT or TR.
With all the magics we have, it kind of sucks still having base fire.
Yeah. It's amazing how much we actually have found throughout this seed. Having very little left over in terms of magics and unhinted items. And got one last assassin. There we go. While aBrinkk on the last of the Windows fights. As LittleHerdez steps into TR. And with how the seed has been played and everything, there's been some crossover between what our runners have had access to and what our runners can do and everything like that. But I would definitely say going into the end game of this race here, I would say LittleHerdez kind of has a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, Boat Pete takes so long when you don't have string.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we had Donald Fire, we could just set him to Donald Fire and get us a little extra damage. Get some speedrun strats going on. Alright, we're going into the last Pete fight here in TR. Fun that both of our Pete fights were objectives.
Yeah, it's not too bad at this point. Does just push forward here, doing aBrinkk do the same, but bring in quite a bit more things to do outside of that. Got a lot prepared. aBrinkk has that Betwixt prepared, has that core prepared if need be. We'll probably just do that and probably the same that LittleHerdez did of Experiment and Solitary. But has some LOD prepared, it could do some matter.
Yeah.
Maybe wanted to get rid of either like Solar Sailor or something else.
Well, and all those things prepared, a bit of a time commitment for all of those.
Yes.
Because we do have final fights. We gotta do final fights after getting all of our objectives.
Okay.
So. Yeah. And into TT3 going to the Axel fight.
Break now making his dip into TT, going to level final and Sora himself here. Hopefully get some of those stats because the midpoint of these levels are really rough, which is definitely widening that gap between LittleHerdez and aBrinkk at this point. Is just, I mean, you saw it on that boat, Pete, of how long it took aBrinkk at a strength stat compared to LittleHerdez.
100%. All right, but there's LittleHerdez's objectives done. So now we're heading into final fights.
Yeah, certainly a seed with a lot of bad omens, but turned out to not be horrible as far as what was required.
Right. Yeah, and the form roulette was very forgiving this seed.
We're just going for some bulkies trying to get the magic stat higher. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we got a good magic stat going on with final form in tow, but for those final fights, yeah, it's going to be a little low.
Okay, we at least got up to the point where you're going to be doing a little bit more damage.
100%.
but I think it's one more stat than would be double the damage of below the floor. I think it's what the math works out there.
Mm.
What's it, 36 from whatever it was?
Believe so.
Yep. Break just pushing forward, doing what we're supposed to here, of just pushing through TT, gonna set up a Twix here, and probably go straight over to Halloween Town just to get through all of that and hopefully get that second identity disc. Hopefully from his perspective. Obviously, we know the identity disc is from Presence 2.
Mm. aBrinkk picking up their second chance on levels. Here on the mansion fight.
Yeah, obviously at this point there's nothing that Brink can do to really catch up, right? He's been on the wall here.
Mm.
Probably I'd say the biggest thing that contributed to that was just the stat gap was one of the really biggest things, and Brink took quite a bit of deaths.
Mm.
Early on, like the Hades escape deaths, to try to commit to such a tricky fight so early definitely contributed a lot to that.
Right.
Yeah. Also, yeah, making a good point in Shattered as getting that final force much earlier and getting to capitalize on that.
Mm.
Yeah. Ooh. Assassins are scary.
Yeah. Assassins are really trying.
Underrated, scary nobody. Assassin.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about every time about dancers and sorcerers, but assassins they can be out to get you.
Yeah.
And Brink demonstrating Sora's magnet hands there.
All right. Into Armored Xemnas 1.
I say Minnie should be jealous of Naminé. Look at the size of the library compared to Minnie. Just has a giant bookshelf, but that's like a library, and it has a secret basement. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean,
Granted, Minnie also has like a secret basement. It's just in the throne room.
also have a secret door in the big old door.
that was always so funny.
That's one of my favorite jokes.
Yeah, that's one of the best bits of having a giant door, but that has a really small door at the bottom. Because imagine the logistics trying to open that big of a door. That's just too much work.
Yeah,
it's just for show.
I mean, we're a cartoon, but not that much of a cartoon. LittleHerdez going for the fun strat.
It's also the fast.
It is fast. It's also scary.
Get an earlier building. The Herdes didn't go for the building that is supposed to. So really just did it for fun, which you gotta respect.
Yeah.
Doing the fast opening to just not do the strat. What a power move.
All right. LittleHerdez done with Armored Xemnas 2. We'll be moving into Final Xemnas. Well, aBrinkk trying to get some last minute experience here.
This XP scene is really just miserable.
Yeah. All right, making good use of that strength stat. And it looks like...
Shoot. Okay, I was going to say,
yeah.
GG's Herdez. Wasn't sure if I was going to hit RV before that, but not too bad.
All right, and Herdez will continue on.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is goodbye to aBrinkk, but that doesn't have to be the end. I'll say quick little announcements to wrapping up here that there still is the silver bracket signups for those who are eliminated in this gold bracket here. So there is another chance to maybe see aBrinkk again. But yeah, Herdez moving on to our gold bracket now, getting those 3 wins, being 3 and 2. We also have a few other restreams this week. On Monday, we have IBA versus Bob at 9:30 EST. On Wednesday, we have Igniter versus Capitan Bubalo at 7 EST. And then on Saturday, we have Flo versus Dare at 6 EST. So stay tuned throughout this week as we wrap up the Swiss stage and move on to our final bracket.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, with that, I've been doubly doing.
And I've been Crazy Comics. GG's to both our runners, and we will catch you later.